chair, sit for the next thought. And what we need to train them to do is, I've landed my thought, what's the thinking that gets me to this next chair? So they're not void of thought, right? So for us, I think if we start sitting, what is your parentage? Then let's stand, right? Above my fortunes, yet my state is well, I am a gentleman. Next thought, I'll be sworn you are. Does that make sense? I just want you to see where your full thoughts are, okay? Shall we try? Yes.
Are we sitting?
So you start sitting.
When the thought ends?
When the thought ends, change your position, so then you'll stand. Okay. Now the next one, when my thought is finished, I'm going to sit for the next new thought. Does that make sense? Yes, keep asking me. You're great. Seriously. Now you see how my mind works, my poor students. Okay, so, and you're at your own pace, so we're not all together, right? You don't have to worry about how anybody else is, how quickly they're speaking the text. Okay, and just notice when you go up and down quickly, when you're up longer, or whatever's happening. Okay, so here we go. What is your parentage? Above my fortunes yet. Oh, can we start one more time? Who are these little micey mama? I'm like 95 years old speaking louder. There's 20-some people in this room. That's impossible. You must speak full voice. All right, so let's start seated. I knew it. That's right. We have to earn some PDHs. I can't, yeah? Okay, here we go. What is your parentage? Above my fortunes yet my skin is well. I am a gentleman. How be smart. If they find all place. Good. So, did you notice, when did you stand up, or when was there a long period where you didn't move? Yeah, that help be sworn thou art thy tongue, that whole list, you're in a position. Then we get to right? So even just doing that, mapping out where her full thoughts are, then you have a long time here. She's just, that's the sense of, right? Okay, so now let's get to what a full stop is. Full stop is a period, exclamation point, or question mark at the end of a verse line. So when we get to the end of a verse line, we'll put a capital B, and I have my students put it in red so that they're marking their breathing so it will be easily seen. That's a full stop. And what it means is you land that thought, you can take, if you're a musician, you can take 4 beats, like a whole rest, in terms of gathering together your next thought before you come back in. It is a full stop. Kate Buckley used to tell us up at Chicago Shakespeare, land it. Go out, have a cup of coffee, have a cigarette, come back in, they're still waiting for you. So it is a full stop, and in that full stop, we're going to formulate our next idea. So we've got, what is your parentage? There's my first full stop, and I will put my B there, my big capital B. So literally, right now, think, you are annotating, is that the right word, the score of Shakespeare. And in a moment, you're just going to play your piano, right? So now we're, the full stop, big B.
B stands for full stop.
Big B, yeah. Okay. And then where's our next full stop? Soft, good. Well, this is full thought. Full stops are at the ends of a verse, and I can't wait to show you that in a second. Wait till you see what that does. Where's my next one? How now? Plague. And let it be. Okay. We'll combine 2 things in just a second. So does that make sense? All I'm noting with my capital B is where those full stops are. And that my eye will see. Okay. Now let's get to this, what you just talked about. Oh, thank you, Bill! Can't forget that. Right? Mid-stops are when you have a period, exclamation point, or question mark in the middle of a verse line. And here's what we do there, right? So why, and this is why it ties back to why I had you do this, which is important, right? When I get to that first period, I am a gentleman, I need to land that thought. My next thought is coming in so quickly that I don't take a breath. You're not supposed to, right? And I immediately propel into the next bit of text. Does this happen in life? If you've worked with me before, I just used the example of I was trying to find a parking spot downtown, and I'm circling, I finally find one, right? And they're pulling out, and yes! So I pull forward, ready to parallel park in my suburban way, which is like, right? And then all of a sudden, somebody sneaks in and takes my spot. I'm like, God dang it, didn't you know that I was getting ready to go into that spot? Who the hell? I'm going to be so freaking late now. You know what? Thanks a lot, buddy. Just have a great day. I spoke like 5 mid-stops right there. We talk like this as humans, right? So, this is going to get the drive of what's going on with her. If I don't apply mid-stops, I get this, what is your parentage? Above my fortunes, yet my state is well, I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn there. There's like my car is dead in the winter kind of thing. What should we get? So first I have, what is your parentage? I'll talk about that in a second, but I've got a full stop there. What is your parentage? Then she sees him, right? And how did he say it? That's just say, yeah, how did she say it? Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. Oh, I'll be sworn you are. Do you see, as opposed to I'll be a gentleman, or I am a gentleman. I am a gentleman. Oh, yes, he is. Did you see how hot he was? Right? So can you just speak up to soft, soft, trying to apply when it's a full stop, and go right into that mid-stop. Land the period, and then jump into the next thought, which is why we did this, so that you know where you're going to land. Right? Let's just try it at your own pace, so we're not all Stepford children. What is your parentage? Take your time. Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. To give the fivefold blazing. So I already see you, your bodies are already starting to do things, which is great. How did that feel? Oh, good, I love it. I'm gonna watch our time. Okay. All right, excellent, thank you, Bill. Colons and semicolons, okay? So we're gonna put a capital T for this. These are phrases of thought. These are like gear shifts throughout the piece. And I need to, first of all, I need to know where my plane is gonna land, right? Those are the full thoughts wherever they are, if they're mid-stops or full stops. So as my plane, I think I'm gonna land like, you know what, no, I think I need to add this little bit in there to quantify what I just told you. So, and look what he does, he maps it out for you. So no matter where a colon or semicolon is, we put a thinking breath, and that's like 2 beats of a pause. Full stop would be like 4, whole rest, if you're at 4 times. Capital T, yes.
Sorry.
No, please, 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 please. Can you tell I like coffee too? So that's kind of like yeah. Oh, you laughed, you mocked me. So, yeah, so I talk a little fast, right? A little. Where's my first colon or semicolon? After well. So let's put a capital T there. So we'll take a breath. Where's my next one? Yes, fivefold blazon, think, not too fast, think, soft, soft. And then there aren't any more. So now what does that do to our text? If we go to above my fortunes, yet my state is well, I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn thou art, thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, actions, and spirit, to give thee fivefold blazon. Not too fast. Soft, soft, calm down. No, I can't. But you see, I've got those 2 beats of it. Okay, Olivia. Woo! Woo! He maps it out for you. Isn't that amazing? Do you want to try it with those in there? Let's go back to I'll be sworn. No, let's go to above my fortunes so you can get that mid-stop in there. Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. Oh, sworn thou art, thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, actions, and spirit, to give thee fivefold blazon. Soft, soft. Yes, I still need to get you to speak full voice. Then it'll work even better. Okay, but we'll thank Bill anyway. Commas, here's the trick with commas. Okay, commas at the ends of the verse lines will take a quick catch breath, like an 8 rest, and I will put a little b. That's at the ends of the verse line. So where's my first one? After I'll be sworn thou art, I will take a breath, and it will be fast. And then I've got spirit, the ends of verse lines now. So I've got tongue, face, I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Spirit, take a quick catch breath, and then that's all. Now, so I'm going to get, I'll be sworn thou art, thy tongue. I have to keep my voice lifted, right? Now that's a technical thing. But so many of our students now, even professional actors that I'm working with down there, are doing this and we've associated that with the end of a thought, a period. So if I get this, I'll be sworn thou art, thy tongue, grammatically that doesn't make sense to my ear, right? And we have to remember how attuned these people were to hearing plays. You never went to a friend and said, did you see Bill's play last night? I heard a play by Bill last night. That's how they experience theater there. So at any rate, I got to keep lifting. Now, look at this. The incorrect, or I would suggest, I would try to help you change your choice. Maybe that's the way to say it. Don't take all these breaths in the middle of verse lines where these commas are. It's going to muck up the structure. So I should not hear thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, actions, and what the hell is going on up there, right? But I can't hear you ice skate over it. Thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, actions, and spirit. They're like little trampolines. So in other words, when I'm saying tongue, I don't know that I'm going to say spirit yet. I'm the actor I've memorized, but those are coming up as I'm in the perpetual present tense, trying to get you to realize how hot this guy is. So I should hear something like, thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, action, and spirit do give thee. As opposed to, does that make sense? Okay? Do you want to try that? Just that line. And just think of them as little trampolines. I didn't know I was going to say face when I said tongue. That comes up in a brief second. And especially when we look at some definitions of what these things mean.
So do you mark those?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Now this is just what if you want to put any marks in there, you certainly can. It should be your score. I think that that might get a little too much, but that's just me. All right, so let's try thy tongue, thy face, and really try to bounce on those. Then take a breath after spirit and go up to soft, soft. So here we go. Thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, actions, and spirit do give thee fivefold blazon. Bounce on that one. Soft, soft. I need two softs because I'm a little woo, right? Okay, thank you, Bill. Now are you starting to feel, okay, calm yourself down, right? It's all right there because I never have 3 weeks to rehearse you. All right, these are the best. Now Mamet is a playwright and he uses this technique a lot. Here's what I'm going to change, hopefully change your mind and rock your world a little bit. I want you to look here. This is what's important. After perfections, which stands to perfections, we'll talk about that, and stealth. Okay, I'm going to place these M's there for magic mammoth moments. When there is no punctuation at the end of a verse line, old school was this. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eyes. Shakespeare, just like all of us, knew that people don't come into a room with a pre-planned speech to say in these kinds of moments. Actors are memorized. We need to be in the perpetual present tense. This, when you get to the end of a verse line, if I end jam, that's what we call it at Chicago Shakespeare. Do not end jam. Shakespeare is very aware when he keeps you in verse and when he throws you down to prose. If I end jam, I have taken Olivia out of verse and thrown her down to prose. So I've broken the structure. He wants it there for some reason. It's just like when you're teaching students and one gets it and one just needs a different word to help them. In that moment, you're trying to think of the word green. It's that. So I'm going to, instead of methinks I feel this youth's perfections within it, methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eye. Well, let it be. Whatever happens. But I don't know, I'm searching for maybe invisible. Does that make sense? And I want you to try that and see what that does to you. You're not supposed to breathe on those either, by the way, if you can do it, right? So instead of methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible, I knew I was going to say that. Feel his youth. Now what do you think she's talking about, this youth's perfections? Right? Okay? So that's why it scans that way. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections. Perfections. Why am I elongating it? Ah, there's the pun.
So where you put those capital M's, there's no breath.
There's no breath, and I'll say to an actor,
Verse to prose.
yeah, yes, because if you end Jan, you've taken her out of her verse structure. So I'll say to an actor, what? A real quick what? So that they're constantly present. I'm searching for words, and it'll do something. Let's say it wrong, and then say it correctly. Well, I'm using wrong and correct. I would say a choice I would help. Maybe you shake something else in a choice. I think that's more supported by the text. So how about let's start with methinks I feel this youth's perfections and jam away. So don't just blow it through. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eye. Now. Try to apply what we call these magic mammoth moments and search for what words you need. Tie it to a verb. I need to excites you. Look, your hand is there. No, it's got perfections. Yeah, right? So I'm constantly present. Let's try. Methinks I feel this youth's perfection. What? With an invisible and subtle somewhat to creep in at my eye. Well, let it be. Do you feel a little different? I'm hoping. Right? I'll try to encourage you to go that way. Thank you, Bill. Okay, capitalization. Are you still with me? Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, this is what the editors have taken away from you. Here's the beginning of Lear. This is in the folio. Our son of Cornwall, and you are no less loving son of Albany. All right? That's in the folio. If I'm an editor, and I look at that, well, some of us are English professors. You don't spell son that way, number one, and capitalizing that word in the middle of a sentence, that's wrong. So in a modern edition of Shakespeare, you're going to have our S-O-N of Cornwall, and you are no less, look, we take out the E, right? No less loving S-O-N of Albany. Remember, first of all, these guys don't know these plays, right? So even when a character would speak the first time or a name, they would step forward so I know, who are you today, right? So I don't know my relationship between these two characters, but look what Bill gave us. Our son of Cornwall, and you are no less loving son of Albany. Who do I like better? By one word that editors get rid of. It's amazing.
They took it up into
They'll take it to S-O-N.
Oh.
So there'll be a lowercase S-O-N. So you would see son and son. Shakespeare gave you son and son. And in rehearsal, I'd have you lengthen that N-E even, son. Then if you feel weird, you know, we'll pull back on it, right? So, do we have capitalized words in here? We do. What is your parentage? So I'd circle that. I'm choosing that word. It's special to me for some reason. And now you as the actor, why did I choose to make that word special for me, right? And then what's the next thing? And what's the next one? Now just think. Now sometimes it works out better than this, but this is kind of good. But sometimes it's even clearer. If you just find, this is the folio, if you just find your capitalized words, the whole piece is right there. Parentage, he's a gentleman, I want him to be my master. Right there it is, there's my path, my stepping stones. Sometimes it's much clearer, right? But I just think that that's very interesting. And I would hit that. So it's not what is your parentage. What is your parentage? And let's talk about that. Okay? Okay, let's talk about it now. All right, so I have to give you one more clue before I talk about it. Okay. Sorry, that was me thinking on the fly. Okay, thank you, Bill. And here's the thing I wanted to tell you, right? I am a pentameter. Do we all kind of know what that is? Right, so I've got that beat going. So that's the heartbeat of our character, right? And I want to investigate that so I know where my character is at this moment in the play. Right? This is normal. I'm okay. Right? Now, what happens if I get this? Whoa, why did my heart stop? Investigate. I don't care what we call it, but investigate why I'm off my rhythm. Something has thrown me. When Malvolio comes in with his yellow stockings, not only is she thrown off of her text, right? Here's a great example. Mariah and Olivia are speaking in verse. He comes in, Olivia is down now in prose. She's literally been shocked out of the way she normally speaks. So Shakespeare notes that by, you're freaked out, I'm going to put you in prose. And then he goes, I think she exits. The next time you see her, she's back up into verse. He's literally shocked her out of the way she talks. It's brilliant, right? So what I want to show you about that is investigate where things are. Look at this line. Can you count how many beats are in that line? No matter how you scan it, we have, what is your parentage? How many do you get? 6. With Bill, you know, you're always trying to get your 10. I've got 6, right? Here's the clue for 6, right? If it's an incomplete line, I have 4 beats missing. That is for you. He built it in there for you as an actor to either think or move. Now, one director could make the choice of, let's use, and you can place them anywhere you want in the line. So maybe I'm using 4 beats for Viola's exit. Now you're up to my choice, but what I did with this, and why I thought, why is parentage capitalized? Okay, Olivia's dorking out. So have you ever been in a situation, right, where you've been to a bar and like, hey, how's your sign? Yeah, I can't believe I just said. I thought, how we justify it, this actor's like, She looks at the guy and says, I said that? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. So the I'm so stupid part were the 4 missing beats. So Viola left, and she looked at me, what is your parentage? Actually we had an Epicnesis O in for her. Then we justified why there's 4 beats there. Look at this. How many beats are in this line? And look, they're all monosyllabic except one word. Do give thee 5-fold blazon, not too fast, soft, soft. How many? 12. It's an Alexandrine, right? So, think about a box of, I'll just say ornaments at the holiday time, right? This box only can fit 10. You're going to cram 12 in there. That's what, so look at what she's saying. This, do give thee, and look what's happening there. Okay, woo, calm down. Let me get back to 10. And then she does, unless the master were the man. Oh, now. She calms herself down in that full stop and gets back on text. Isn't that brilliant? I know. See, it's just like so cool. And then, I wanted you to elongate perfections. And we talked about that. And now we know why she might say perfections. Right? Sorry, I keep using it. Thank you, Bill! Yeah? Oh my gosh. Oh, you're doing great. I love you. This is great. Okay, we have about 15 minutes.
Okay, my brain's full.
Oh, so you wanna take a pause? There you go. I got some more. You gotta see a few more. Then we're gonna put it all together. All this is monosyllabic words slowed down. These are like the whole notes of Shakespeare. Okay? So instead of methinks I feel this youth's perfections, with it, methinks I feel this youth's monosyllabic, 4-syllable word. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections. Oh, do you see what it does for you? And then look, with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at my eyes. Well, let it be, people. You see? As opposed to creeping at my eyes, well, let it be. She is way too heightened and jazzed up at what she thinks this guy looks like. All right? Right? So now we have big butt words. So you're going to come to my class, because I'm like, somebody's doing this, you have a much bigger butt than that. I'm like, right? But these transitional words, we have to stress them so that the audience can follow the path of our argument. Now, I'm going to say, you know the transitional words, sometimes they work as transitions, sometimes they don't. So just make sure it's a transition. This you must always do. Use this for everything. I directed Over the Tavern in the summer, and I said, Shakespeare it up here. There's a list here. Stress your words. You must always stress now, all, and long. No matter what. Always, always, always. Long especially. I mean, come on. That's my last name, right? So, now, all, and long, always, always, always. Always. Did I tell you always? Okay. So now, here's our text. We've almost got the music done. Where's my, look, what is your parent? Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I need to hit that. And there's one more.